Face off and welcome to the broadcast. Ali the Persian dude and Greg, real Teal Stell.
Easy boy, let's go.
So I can see you two are familiar with each other. Ali, what's going on?
What do you mean what's going on? I finally bought a lamp after 2 years. How do you guys like it?
Nice.
Good.
I mean,
bright.
it's kind of okay, but your face is still really obscured.
Oh, you guys don't deserve to see that. That's for the ladies. You guys don't deserve it. Okay?
That's all
you got box face. How you like that?
All right, Ellie, my question is, how did you convince Zone to let you do the face-off?
Oh, it took a lot of hours of, just desperation. We just voted as a community that we didn't like Zone's face-off, but we wanted something more classy. We wanted something to appease to a more general audience. So we decided to let me do it. What, you guys don't like it? You guys got a problem with it?
No.
Say it. My face rocks. I got a problem with it.
No, I'm all good. I'm all good. I like the change up. Now, what I do want to talk about is Greg. You're sitting over there laughing. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing all right. Can't complain. Not a great day. I mean, it rained all day. I had to walk outside. That sucked.
Going outside, that's hard for you?
It is when it's raining.
All right, let's talk about practice this past week. Have you guys prepped for this match, Greg?
What do you think?
I don't know, man. You tell me. I want to know some details.
Of course we've practiced.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Is there any insight,
What
though?
do you expect?
Can you tell me anything more? Did anything happen?
I can't. That's all classified material. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, Allie. So you went on a little bit of a vacation or whatnot and disappeared for a few weeks, weren't able to play. You came back to the starting lineup. Teams looked a little bit more together since you came back. Have you guys been doing anything different? Is it just more of a synergy with you in the lineup? What do you attribute that all to?
First of all, I'll tell you how Greg practiced. He got 2 donuts and he sat in his chair. That's his whole practice for the whole week. How we practiced, we scrimmed elevate yesterday, right? 22 Odom. Comps, why do you waste my time, bro, with the scrims? We need to get some more scrim partners. We're scrimming Navi tomorrow and Tornado the next week. We've just been owning. We've been having the rival strats. Knight's been coming up with this crazy stuff, and I've been outplaying pretty much the entire enemy team. So it's been real easy, real smooth sailing from here out. We're gonna win first place, believe it or not. So all our fans, all our haters, more like we don't have any fans, we just have haters.
Okay.
Just keep hating, keep hating.
All right, Greg.
See, Greg, this is what we're talking about. Ali just nailed the question. Like, he just owned it. Completely destroyed it.
Woo.
Yeah.
All right, you have any response for that, Greg?
I think Ali's going a little crazy right now. I mean, this is a sport. I mean, it takes up so much time, takes up so much energy. You got to make sure to stay hydrated, man. Keep drinking.
All right. Ellie, you have any final thoughts for Greg at Teal Team Stealth?
He's still
Teal Team 6.
Good luck, bro. Drink that. Whatever you're drinking.
Oh, goodness. Are you okay? Don't drown. Don't drown. All right. That's it. That's
Greg, any final thoughts for Ali or F7?
You okay?
That was a really bubbly Mountain Dew.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. We will see you on the battlefield. Bye. Okay. Yeah, that happened. Sweet. They're going to go ahead and get ready for their game. That was unique. So, your thoughts based off of those that face off. Go on.
I'm still trying to process that one.
We'll take a minute to process that one. Let's review one more time, though. We're going to start out here.
The keynote. You can pick out there if we want to try to pick out something serious from that face-off. Knight has taken over as calling. I did hear that earlier. So Click no longer the main caller, letting Knight get in there, do the strats, and do a lot of the calling, and combo with Chase Potato. So allowing some more of their players with more experience and get Clicks on to get in there and kind of turn things around. Clicks was calling early in the season, but you have to remember Chase Potato called for Deja Vu for multiple seasons. He has a lot of tactical experience, and then Knight also called for Rival when he joined them for a little bit. And while that wasn't as successful, still a lot of experience and valuable lessons that he could have learned from there. So if they can pull it all together as a team, I think they can do just fine.
I believe so. Just checking on. What looks like we're getting ready in just a moment for the battle number 1. Just keeping you guys updated. It's going to be Sand River, James. Let's talk a little bit about Sand River. It'll be starting off defending F7, attacking Teal Team.
Now, the thing to remember is last time these two teams played, F7, I believe the phrase I used was got their pants pulled down. They got caught in the middle of a rotation and were pretty much completely obliterated before they could get anywhere useful and got capped out within a couple of minutes. So hopefully they do not repeat that disaster that was that last performance on Sand River.
Yep.
Now, just the same, Teal Team 6 looks pretty solid on it. They have a pretty good understanding of the map, really able to open the map up, use a lot of different angles, and do it very delicately. It's to play this map well as an offense. You know, I've talked about it before. You have to open up the map. You have to play the north and the south. But it's a really delicate game because you leave yourself exposed to a lot of overmatches. So you have to be very careful with how you do it. But if you do it right, you can really work down that defense and really bleed them before you have to make that decisive push.
Yeah, intel's a huge factor here. Opening scout runs, just making sure that you understand where your enemy is, and then trying to set up those alternate angles so you can create some strong crossfires. There are a surprising number of angles that, for the most part, in most pub battles, you just won't run into. So pay attention to where you see people taking fire
from.
And
I think that's kind of the beauty of the attack defense game mode, is it kind of changes the maps from how you see them in normal pub play, especially maps like... see, Himmelsdorf is one of the ones that actually plays fairly normal, but stuff like Muravanka, for example, just the way the battle's shape is just different. And Sand River's, you know, the same. Instead of playing just east-west, it's more north-south. All right, now we're into the first battle. Lineups have come in. Teal Team 6 coming in here with 2 5As and 5 Bat Chats. Meanwhile, F7, 215B and IS7, 2 5As and 3 Bat Chats. So a much heavier lineup, which to me what that means is they have to close distance, they have to try to brawl, they have to get in their face. Now they are the defending team, so...
A strong static opening with Bat Chats to flex around, right?
Yep.
And then on the offense, that lighter multi-Bat Chat run tells you that this is probably going to Wolfpack.
Naturally, by lineup, the thing that F7 have to worry about is not having those 3 Bat Chats exposed. When you have 5 Bat Chats on their team, you have to be careful about any engagement you take. If your heavies are left out of the fight, even if they win that 5v2, you've probably lost if you lose your 3 Bat Chats. So definitely something that F7 have to really pay attention to and be very mindful of.
Yep, and looks like the opening spots from those heavies on our defender side are going to go what's called what's south side of the defense and north. Knight's going pretty far forward. It's aggressive position. He's going to be taking fire from Spooky. Looks like he takes 408. And at the same time, Supernova making a scout run in the middle of the map is going to take a little damage for his trouble as well. And actually, Knight's getting pinched really hard right now. He is not in a happy spot. Bananas has great side shots on him. At the same time, Viral's moving around. Knight may be about to go down. One more shell from Bananas. Just needs to connect.
It
not
hits
quite.
The track. Those heat shells from the Bat Chat proving difficult.
Viral might.
Viral picks it up.
Good job.
Good play there from Banana. The wall host get up there. Knight just getting caught out of position, and his teammates not in position to really support him. They decided to opt to go back towards the north.
And that's a good early pickup. Just a solid early pickup.
Something to keep an eye on, though, for F7 is their 2 Bat Chats are pushing down alone, and it's basically a 2-on-2. They don't know that Greg is down there all the way in the south.
Yep. At the same time, looking at the play from Teal Team 6, they're going to send Zombie way up north. Zombie, actually.
Supernova spotted, and they don't know these Bat Chats are here on the low ground.
They don't, not at all. But we'll have to see where are they going to be able to get the kill, or is it
they should have this kill dead to right. Supernova's 2v1, and Greg not in position to support yet.
Nice.
Take him down beautifully. Good coordination there from F7 to tie this one up 1-1. HP is in favor of Teal Team 6.
And nicely played Zombie, covering for Spooky. Spooky moving in without getting spotted. On the other side of the map, he's able to close the distance as Get Clicked is on reload. And with that, that's going to be control for Teal Team 6 on the north cap. With this, they should be able to pressure the cap and maybe get a victory out of it. Well, we shall see.
Now, Clicked On needs to be careful because the only one covering him right now is Zoned, who is spotted, and if he's not careful, he's going to start bleeding HP to Scary Spooky Skeleton up in the north.
Yeah, but it looks like Spooky decides in this case he's not actually going to go for that damage, playing it safer. He's actually going to back off and start looking more towards the defensive positions and covering the guys near the cap.
Yeah. Now look at this.
It's risky.
Cap stack coming out from Teal Team 6, putting 3 on cap all of a sudden. Now they have 20 seconds to respawn. Heavies are the only tanks in position, so they need to come around. And the only tank that's going to stop them is Greg. So basically, if they get the reset, I think this is over for Teal Team 6. So they need to make sure that they stop this. Greg should have a few shots, but he's going to go down eventually. Chase Pitto just pushing in, looking for the shot, has everyone spotted. He's going to fire 1 shot onto the Bat Chat, but that's not the person with most of the cap points. They're doing a good job at screening him on the cap.
Nice reset from Ali there.
And there comes 1 reset, but they need to find the Love Hitman. He has most of the points. Ali, the Persian dude, taking a lot of damage. Clicked On comes over in the Bat Chat. He's finding shots, but he's taking a lot of damage. And his cap pressure really working for Teal Team 6 right now. Clicked On's down to a 1 shot, but now the final cap resets have come in, and Greg is being chased down in their base.
Nicely played right there. At the same time, that fight, I'm going to jump over and take a look at that. Looks actually, Greg is down, so He is good to go. Okay, here's the counter push there from Teal Team 6. They're going to move on to Ali, deciding, all right, this cap isn't really worth it. We've gotten some nice gains from this, but let's make some damage happen, and they get the kill. Ali is down. And now that is 4 tanks on F7 versus 5 on Teal Team 6. Hit points, though, in favor of F7, as Zone has barely taken any damage, same with Spirit Walker. And I think that's what we need to watch out for. Can this FV215B out-damage the rest of Teal Team 6? It really is a damage monster. It could do plenty of work if it needs to.
It's playing 2 5As, which have pretty good DPM of their own, and now Zone is spotted, so they know where he is. Now, the real trick right now isn't the 215B, it's going to be those bad chats and making sure they can get shots, and actually one shot coming through from downtown, multiple shots coming through onto Love Hitman. Zone just getting the spots is just enough for F7 as they are able to constantly get shots. Now, Banana the Wall Host is in a blind spot on the left side of that cap there. Viewer's right at the moment, so they need to keep an eye on him, because if they don't spot him, he could rack up the points very quickly.
Yeah, it looks like Halo might be the one to shift into a sniping position now in his bat chat as he moves on up. Oh, spotting is gone just at the wrong time. Zone's going to try and look for those. There he is. And now lining up onto Viral. Zero Chell, goes a little low.
Needs to get a reset here. Banana the Wall Host has noticed the cap points. Nice. They still haven't found Banana. They've gotten resets on Love, Hitman, and Viral. And they take down Viral, so they buy themselves a little bit more time. It's a 4-on-4, but getting clicked on is down to a 1-shot. 30 HP. Gets another reset shot on at 5A, getting the track shot. Not able to get the kill. Once again, bouncing another one.
And then Zoned. Let's check it back in with Zone. Spooky is on the move to try and outflank that spotter. Right now, Zone is the main spotter. Zombie, though, on an alternate angle. Nicely played. This is some good pressure from Teal Team 6. Zone is forced to go around and goes down. Love Hitman still on the cap. And let's see, Spirit is not, actually he is loaded, trying to close the distance. He's going to find Spooky. So it's a one-on-one right there, but Spooky does not have all his shells. Don't know.
The reset shots need to come in from somewhere. 4 seconds, Halo's lining up the shot. He's going to fire one off and not get it, and that's going to be a cap out to Teal Team 6. They are going to take the first round 1-0 with a well-played offense.
Nicely done. All right.
I like the angles there. I like the overall idea from Teal Team 6.
Defenders lost a lot of good ground in the right spots. I think we have to give credit where it's due on the attack.
I think that the biggest mistake there was Knight going down. I think that was the biggest game changer there for F7. I think overall their defense played pretty well.
But losing a tank that crucial that early.
Yeah, well, they spotted the 5As in the I-7 at the same time, and they saw the 5As cut around to the right. And while it's just a little dune, it's a sand dune, tanks move very slowly on it, and they knew that they could push around onto Knight and get the free pick on him, and fair play to Banana the Wall Host. Got up there on that berm and really negated that IS-7 armor. Yep. Got 3 shots into him, and then the 5As were able to finish him off.
It did take a surprisingly large volume of fire, of course, to take him down, but because of the timing in the battle where everyone was, Knight was a little bit too far out in front at kind of the wrong time. It was too easy for the attackers to stop for a moment and just take a look and get the kill that they needed. Because this is look at where everyone is on that replay right then, right? Like no one was really in too strong of a position to punish, and no one on the attacking side had quite made it where they were intending to go.
And I wanted to credit Teal Team 6 with the play there on to get the pick onto Ali the Persian dude. They understood that the batch had it all fired and they were the gun supporting, so they needed to reload or wouldn't have many shots left. So they took that opportunity to push forward and make sure to kill him. Now, speaking of supporting fire, Spirit Walker did what he could. 4,500 damage, 1 kill, 116 fantasy points. Scary Spooky Skeletons, and we talked a lot during the pre-show and right before this match started, putting up 3K, 1 kill. Very solid, nothing to scoff at. And then the rest of Teal Team 6 after that. Second page, a lot of the F7 players, including poor Knight, who only got the 1 shot of damage off, as well as get clicked on. Also poked up and over, trying to get a couple resets, struggled against that 5A armor, which is also a little bit ironic since that 5A is regarded to have fairly poor armor, but a lot of bat shots struggling to get penetrating shots on him.
It's just because the range, I think, that really hurts it, because you can't depend on your shells to land center.
Also, heat shells from the bat shot, I think, is also a factor.
Yeah. It's just range really hurts bat shots, so it's just inconsistency.
People will start to remember why APCR in a bat chat was a thing until recently. We'll get back to that in a minute as lineups do come in. Teal Team 6, 2 5As, 4 bat chats, and 2 Object 140s. Meanwhile, F7, 3 5As, a 140, 2 bat chats, and a T100, so opting for the light tank on offense.
The T100 going for a little mid-scout run. Chase Potato. He is just going right up the middle.
Now, Chase Potato needs to be careful because look at this deployment from Teal Team 6. They're sending a lot of tanks to the south. And this could turn into a very awkward fight for both teams because F7 are sending heavy tanks straight up the mid and all their light tanks through the mid. So this could turn into some sort of chaotic brawl very quickly.
That it could. But we'll have to see that the T100 is getting some decent scouting, decent coverage, and a shell from Ali does connect with the Hitman. So those 5As you were talking about, they won't be so scary after all because, well, they're scared off a little bit now. At the same time, it looks like Greg also took a shell for his trouble scouting in the north. And, well, this looks like decent control right now.
Well, look at
pressuring on the 1 cap.
This is something you don't see every day. A 5A pushing down along the K line right now behind Chase Potato. Now, the bat shots aren't really in a position to cover. They find the 140 in the bat shot for Teal Team 6 in the south. Knight's lining up a shot, doesn't get a connection.
Chase gets a shot for free into zombie food. They couldn't spot him at all out in the open. And that's actually great for that scout.
And now Knight is spotted. He might take a couple shots. And this is also going to surprise Teal Team 6 just to see a 5A all the way down here in the south.
Yep. And they're going to quickly book him back around north and possibly, yeah, that might be the plan. Book him north, get to the 2 cap. Now that you've baited some stuff into the south possibly, is it so that they can defend? Or we might just see something tricky. We'll have to wait and see if F7 has something up their sleeve. But all indications, James, looks like turning it around and going back towards the 2 cap.
And if you look at this, Knight's actually leaving right now. Now, if he doesn't get spotted, this could work to their favor because if they do this quickly enough, Teal Team 6 are going to go, 5A was in the south, right? Yeah, okay, well, he's going to be down there somewhere. They're not going to expect him to just appear in the north all of a sudden, and that's going to play with Teal Team 6's head right now because it looks like F7 are just rotating everything to the north right now, and they could find themselves an overmatch if they do this right.
Yeah, if they do it quickly enough. Let's go ahead, though, and take a listen with F7, hear what they have to say as we're getting ready to get into the first engagement of this round.
Nice shot to
Ollie, do you know this boost?
Yeah, Viral fired. Viral fired.
Go do that.
He's backing down. Viral's backing down. You should be able to cross.
We're going to be safe.
Cross.
A tree just fell going this way.
Echo,
cross with the Wheezies.
Echo. Halo, let me think first, please.
I'm trying to call that a tree fell right here going up this way.
Okay, so we know something's going up there. That chat? There's two tanks in the north now.
Yeah.
We should probably get a Wheezy in the north.
Okay, I'm in boost.
Echo, you need
to get one Wheezy north.
Yeah, I'm going north to help with that.
We're bullying them down. Like, they don't have enough to push. You gotta be here, Knight.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Well, if you just get the nice crossfire set up there, yeah. Can I use this gate crack to bully or no?
Sort of. Okay.
Weird, I'm just gonna go bully him down.
That's fine. I'm just gonna hide.
Careful, we don't want Chase picked.
Where's... Oh, it's salad.
Wait, Chase can just run. No?
Oh, no, some bat peers on him. Like we did.
Okay, I'm gonna get under him now, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, there's a bat.
Just run, Chase.
Yeah, they're gonna make that rotate.
And then you just come north and come get on cap. We have Ollie on the boost, so...
Well, they might make this close rotate.
Yeah.
Can we get the 140 to pressure that with the Wheezy?
I mean, I can be helping with that, I guess.
If we get the back covering me right here, right, I can get a grab on the 140.
Yeah,
140's leaving. They're leaving.
I guess I kind of have your butt now. I'm just going.
We want to go to get on cap to put up more pressure.
I'm gonna get on this gate crack here and shoot Viral in the ass.
I don't think I can get onto cap safely, dude.
You can't. I don't think.
Oh,
again!
Batch head in the
Okay,
south.
I'll have shots on him. He keeps going.
It's alright, keep going.
No
punish, Viral.
Get this? Okay, this Wheezy... Fucking... Yeah. The back, go push out the north. Go push out the north, okay?
Look, I'm gonna start trying to help you.
I need help with you.
There's nothing I could have done because it's south.
Hey, I'm cutting off Bob to get away. Shut up.
Come up here. Come up here. Okay.
Okay. You want me to? Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm just...
It's okay. Drop the tilt. Let's go.
They're pushing middle.
There's no reason for them to push middle right now. You're just gonna hold. Do you need help?
Don't push. Be careful about pushing out zone.
I know.
Nice shot.
Okay, I'm gonna zombie.
We need your HP back here.
Can you maybe kill
I know, zombie's rushing me now, just let you know that.
Zombie. Oh, bad shot.
Yeah, bad shot.
Turn it around.
Should I cross to Echo?
Well, we're gonna take shots if we do.
I'm asking Knight this question.
I'm thinking.
I can try to.
I think you can just hold down there.
Well, I can just hold down.
I'm safe now. I'm back.
Yeah. Just hold down there.
What do you want me?
Start. Can we get the bat chat to cross into here?
Halo, you can cross for free.
Yeah.
Their bat's at 1100, by the way.
They have 2 bat chats.
Zombie is 1100. That is. Sorry.
Ali, are you good?
Yeah, this guy's doing that.
Okay.
Just don't get shot at the 140, Ali. I think they're waiting for
Chase, can you?
4 minutes. Do you want me to go in now? What do you mean?
Hold up. I'm thinking.
There's.
What's okay? Zone. Okay, go put pressure up here, zone. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I can.
Can we get the 140 to go here as well? I think what we need to do is we need to drop Halo behind. Just take this engagement.
Okay.
I can go behind too. Just give me a sec.
He's running away. Nova's running away.
How much HP does Nova have?
He's full.
He's full. I'm full too.
We have 2 full health bats.
They have 2 full health bats?
No, we do.
No.
Okay. Yeah, but Ollie's a little bit out.
Echo, you gotta no. Go around, Echo. You have HP. Don't get tough. You have
Nice shots. Yeah, if you can, Ollie, just come in. Oh. That's fine, actually. Oh, shoot this, Ollie.
Zombie down 2. Zombie down 2. 3.
Okay, come out here.
That chest are going in.
Behind.
Echo, don't go.
I'm coming.
Move, Spirit.
I took a hit from bananas.
I bounced. Okay, they're coming to kill me now. Spirit, need to back up. They're coming to kill me.
I'm trying. They're coming to kill me, dude. What are you talking about, you?
To me and you.
I'm sitting here, dude.
I can get 140.
We just need
Shoot
to
the bat chat. Shoot the bat chat. 140 on my left as well.
Try to get zombie.
For Nova.
Try to get zombie.
Got the kill on him.
Okay.
Spooky now.
Echo, try to take the hit.
Let me jump over him, shit.
What? Nice.
And F7 pulling it together. Both teams winning on offense on a map that historically favors the defense. Very convincing stuff out of both teams.
Yep, just about over as the last piece coming in. There we go. And even with a crazy ammo rack, F7 comes back as well.
Yeah, you could hear the frustration in their comms. It's just something unfortunate that can happen. You know, good shots in the right place, hitting that ammo rack, detonating it, and you could hear the extra salt because it's happened before against Teal Team 6. So
yes, it has.
Bringing back some nightmares there.
Oh yeah, and then taking a look actually, post-game stats when we get a chance, we'll bring those up. But Spirit Walker is getting MVP for that battle.
Because so far for the match, it's back-to-back games, 4K+.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I wanted to, for this one, 4,267 damage.
Played that 140 perfectly. Used the turret, the extra gun depression, got in there, understood late game. He had the HP, so he had to be the aggressor for his team. Got in there, started taking shots. Overall, it was just really decisive play. And as you see, you know, Knight, he thought he had the HP to take it, but if you don't repair that ammo rack quickly enough, what I'm assuming happened there was the first shot damaged his ammo rack, and the second hit the same spot and sent it flying. Little history, well, not history lesson, but science lesson, more or less. When shells get hit by another shell, they go pop. And in a tank, all that explosion has to go somewhere, and the weakest spot is normally the turret ring. Hence, sending your turret flying into the air.
Oh, yep. That's General Hegos. Now, there's your post-battle stats. We've got a 140.
Pretty sure he's at 240 fantasy points right now after 2 games.
Yes, he is.
So very strong night so far.
If you picked him up, you're in good place. Zoned in second, love Hitman, those 5As putting up solid damage. They always seem to be just nice middle of the pack or upper level damage dealers when they get the chance to.
And Chase Potato in the light tank. He used to play a lot of the scout tanks for his previous teams.
He did a great job at just throwing damage out there for free when he knew he could take it.
Well, and I also like how active he was. You know, so often we see there, you know, a tank just go passive and then just sit there the whole game. But he got active in one spot, got his eyes, backed off, got delit, reappeared in the south, fired a few shots, left, went somewhere else. And then when he understood that tanks were coming to kill him, he got out of there. He didn't wait a long time. Sometimes you see scout players, they want to stay as long as possible to get every little bit of intel. But he's like, hey, this isn't going to work. I'm just going to leave before I take any damage. Got out of there, got in a new position, and very effective.
Yeah, he got the job done. He understood how to survive, and because you survive that long in a T100, if you're there at the late game, there's so much work that could be done once you thin out the number of tanks.
All right, before this battle even starts, F7, what are you guys up to?
We shall see. As we're going to head on to Cliff, a map we haven't seen as much this season. Map that's been played a little bit less, very often banned out in our broadcast matches.
Now, look at this lineup.
Yes.
A 113, a Kronwagen, a Mouse, 2 Bad Chats, a Panzerwagen, and a T100.
Which is strange. Why do you need 2 Tier 10 lights?
Yep, and on the other team of Teal Team 6, a 140, 5 Batchats, a TVP, and a 1034 Batchats, excuse me.
Yeah, much more typical lineup from our defenders. Our attackers, we're going to have to see what they got planned, because whatever it is, I'm not going to pretend to know entirely what they expect as far as results. I'm skeptical because you're bringing 2 very light tanks on this map, and the other team has a lineup which really, if they engage correctly, they should be able to swamp this attack.
Well, here is reason number 1, T100 to be your Mountain Goat, to get up the 1-line boost, which was thought to be removed.
No, it hasn't.
Apparently still a thing.
Yeah, it's always been a thing.
Oh, no, it's been a thing. A few patches ago, they changed a lot of the boosts, made them harder to do, but apparently with the T100, this one is still possible.
The T100 is the most amazing Mountain Goat ever. It's so lovely. It's hard to flip over. It's got everything you could want as a Mountain Goat scout.
Yeah, and then Chase Potato also over on the F2 climb. So these 2 can't cover each other. They can get off good damage, and just between these 2 tanks, they can shut down the whole 1, 2, 3, 4 line, basically. So that pairing right there, well, it's 2 light tanks in the right position. Hard to kill. They can keep their guns into the fight. I think they should be rather effective.
Yeah, and then Chase Potato, nice solid middle position. And then let's go take a look at the at some of the heavies. So Halo is in the back with Get Clicked On, right? And then with him is Ali as well. So Ali's just on a little jump. Now, James, what about this mouse from Get Clicked On? It's going to take him a while to get anywhere, right? Shouldn't they be perhaps taking him in a direction? Oh, well, there's a direction down the hill.
Yeah, they're going to flex him over to the 1 line. It looks like they're going to try to open that up. So what I think is happening is this is F7 playing it slow and making sure they play the meta game, make sure they're all covered. They needed all their guns in that middle area to make sure they could get their tanks established where they wanted to be. Make sure that no crazy pushes come around. So they have the light tanks to cover that 1-2 line, the Kronwagen in the 113 to shut down a 9-0 line push. If you notice the positions, that Kronwagen over there at H9, he's going to be extremely hard to get to. So no one can really get to him without crossing an open field, and he's in a hold down spot that's going to take a while to get around and get shots on. So between that and the 113 over on the hill, he's basically safe, and if they push around, he's going to take a lot of damage. And then in the middle, that's the 3rd weak spot in this defense, is a team taking all their bat shots and pushing up over the middle. So they brought the mouse there to make sure the gun and the HP were in the fight. When you bring a big, heavy, slow tank like this, what the other team, doesn't matter if they're attacking or defending, what they're going to look to do sometimes is try to see if they can find an engagement where that tank is out of the fight. If he's on the low ground, on the 1 line, for example, and they can take a safe engagement on the 8-9 line, that's 3,000 HP and a gun that is guaranteed not going to be in the fight for a long time.
That it is.
So what F7 did is they made sure that didn't happen. They brought it to the fight early on to make sure that if a fight happens, it's in the fight. And now that they're established, they're in positions where they can cover each other, they're going to start rotating that mouse over towards the 1-2 line.
Oh, and look at that. Shots coming out. I think that's going to be from... It's onto zone, probably from Emus. Looks like he's looking for Chase Potato now on the far side, though no longer lit.
And he's not even going to go up onto the donut. They're going to use this mouse to push straight up the 2 line.
Really?
He's just plugging along right now.
Just chilling. Just going. Got Bat Chats behind with Ollie and them. That's not bad. This is okay.
He's just plugging along, and they spot Spooky, who's in a bush. Now he's going to start angling that. TVP's gold shells do not have the highest penetration, so he needs to be careful he doesn't take another shot.
Yeah, Spooky's on reload now. Knight, though, taking a lot of damage. In his position, he has to get out of that high ground, and he's jumped down low. He's safe for now, but sitting on 100 hit points, so not a lot. And so he's lost his initial position. We'll probably not see much from Knight for the rest of the battle. Okay, Knight. What was
living dangerously there.
Yeah. Living very dangerously. And Chase Potato's just going to be covering right above our mouse buddy.
Now,
so I see the point of this. I mean, the light tank's able to cover. He has good camo, so I guess he won't get spotted. He doesn't have a huge damage output, but, you know.
And Emu's taking a shot. That was a blind shot from zone. Nice connection.
Well done.
As far as another one doesn't get the connection that time, but it looks like Spirit Walker and the Batchats are all coming over here towards the hill. They've distracted Teal Team 6 towards this 1 line, and now they're pushing the mouse up onto the high ground. So trying a little bit of misdirection here.
It's an interesting play. It's the question is just whether or not this will actually turn into anything. Because right now we're seeing a lot of back and forth, just flexing around and trying to create misinformation. But Teal Team 6 hasn't made any huge mistakes yet. They could still deal with a lot of this. Is kind of the situation we're in. And,
yeah, no, I agree. And it looks like the Kronwagen is trying to climb up onto the hill right now.
Makes sense. What else do you want to counter out? Oh, nice. Another blind shot from Zoned. Actually, he's going to connect with Emu's track. Gets a little track damage in the meantime. So, not bad.
Kronwagen just plugging away.
Emus decides he's going to shift his position, go to the slightly lower, less accessible, but slightly safer position.
Now F7 are in a really decent position. If we look at it real quick, right now they have two options. It looks like they're going to go around this way, and when this comes around, expect the mouse to push into this area here, and these tanks to get more aggressive on the top. That's going to be a crossfire from 3 different angles where they can all cover each other and possibly find some shots.
And we'll see. Looks like Knight's moving up to the middle. Love Hitman might spot him proxy. There we go. Little proxy spot in the mid. The mouse is spotted pushing out. Love
Supernova gets spotted on the back of the hill, but Ali and Halo don't have the covering shots. Ali snaps one off. Supernova just goes ahead and backs down. Nice. And now that mouse is pushing across over towards that rock, and he's barely taking any damage.
Yeah, he's going to just angle up, and well, the thing is with Love Hitman is he can reasonably expect a few more pens if he plays his position well. He's got a decent haul down. It's hard to dig him out. And I guess the trouble here for F7 is, do they have the hit points to really slug this out? Because right now we're not seeing a huge amount of damage dealt, really much at all. And there we go, Zombie taking a lot of damage finally. He's forced to back down. There we go, a little more from Supernova. Get Clicked is tracked in a really uncomfortable position, but he's going to be able to return fire. Yeah. There we go, Chase is down.
Chase is down, and now the Batchats have the donut control. They're going to be able to take out Get Clicked On, and the rest of these tanks for F7 need to get active. They have one last chance, knowing that these Batchats are all reloading after killing that mouse, but I think it's too little too late at this point. Heavy is doing what they can up on the hill, but bleeding a lot of HP.
Zoned is relatively healthy. Looks like he's going to find Emus, 451 into him. But Spirit's going to go down. That Kronwagen was a crucial tank. He had the survivability to stay on that high ground and do some work.
What have you done, Knight?
Now Zone's just getting picked apart. He doesn't really have support, and everything is still alive on the side of Teal Team 6. This is very quickly going to probably wrap itself up once everyone from Teal Team 6 decides to get into the engagement. There we go. Emus backs off behind a rock. Zone just throws that shell away, and Zombie Food's going to go down. So the first kill for F7. Looks like Ali's going to be the one to get pressured now. He's in the low ground fighting Bananas, taking crossfire from Spooky.
And I've said this before, that I really don't like passive defenses. Teal Team 6 just did a variation of a defense that I like a lot. They set up passively early on. They waited for their opponent to show their hand. They waited for a moment where they could sense weakness, moved their tanks, got mobile, found the advantage. They took out Get Clicked On, and then from there they were in such a controlling position that there was no way they weren't going to win.
Yeah, I think also from a fundamental lineup position, I don't agree with necessarily the strat that was brought. 2 light tanks is a little too light for me, especially on a map like this where you've got plenty of options with Batchats and Object 140s.
If your opponent plays into it, I think it could have worked.
But who's going to play into that?
No, exactly. Now, it's a fine line between not being too passive, but Teal Team 6, I think, played it very well. They set up, to cover each other early on. They waited till that push happened. They kind of figured out where the weak spot was, but they kept a mobile enough lineup, and a flexible enough lineup that they could get around. And they got into that 1-2 line without ever being spotted. They got behind, and from that point on, Get Clicked On was done. There was no saving him at that point.
Yeah.
And the rest of the team wasn't in a position to really capitalize on those tanks being out of position. If they had spotted them on the low ground, when they were making that rotation, Clicked On maybe got a lucky proximity light.
Something like that.
Maybe then at that point could they have saved it because they would have had time to move. But it didn't happen. They got in behind. Clicked On went down.
Yeah, they left too many openings. They lost their scouts on the far west.
It was just a house of cards. Just one off the bottom and everything just fell over.
Yep. It's a bit of a delicate strat. Probably works, 30% of the time works, every time. Whatever.
And Cliff is a map that favors the defenders. I'll give them that, the way it has been played, especially recently.
It's tricky to attack. We can all agree on that one.
But you know, a well-composed defense that gives you plenty of options, that lets you dictate the play when you want on your terms, I think is fantastic, and they ran it very well there.
Yeah, evidenced by the fact that, well, most of the tanks were left alive at the end of this. That's one of the things you have to pay attention to. If tanks are alive like Spooky and Supernova and Viral at the end of that match, then you just didn't do enough damage. And looking at the damage dealt, Bananas with his bad chat, 3k, Emus gets a 2k, 2.5, Spooky and 2.5. Halo puts up, you know, we got solid damage from all of the bad chats, everyone on the team. So damage was well split amongst everybody on Teal Team 6. But as we go to the second page of the post-battle stats, you'll see that, well, the same thing doesn't really go for F7. Knight didn't get a chance to deal damage like he wants to. Chase Potato, same thing. Got a little bit, but just...
Spirit Walker only 816s, only getting 2 shots off that game. Still having a decent night, but that game certainly won't help things.
Yeah.
And now teams are going to switch sides, and it is going to be F7 now having to defend.
Yep. And we'll have to see what they decide to go for as we jump back onto Cliff. This is it's just one of the prettiest maps for me. I always enjoy just kind of driving around, getting a little lens flare going on stuff. And
yeah, well, if you saw the video that Wargaming put out this morning with the new HD maps, this map looks pretty dope on the update. So make sure you guys check out the Sandbox server if you can. If not, the update will come in the next couple of months. So definitely keep an eye out for that because these maps look beautiful.
Yes.
Now we move on to the game at hand, though. Teal Team 6 coming in here with 5A, a TVP, and 5 bad chats. F7 coming in with 2 5As, 4 bad chats, and an SGRV 103. I wonder where that SGRV is going to go. It never goes to the same place more than once, ever on Cliff defense.
Was that sarcasm?
I don't know what gave you that idea, Randall.
Is that the hint of sarcasm in your voice? Just.
No, there's a reason why it always goes to the same spot when it has, you know, 4K DPM essentially, and basically invisible, and not to mention very hard to kill from long range. There's no reason not to put it there. So,
just makes sense. All right, but the opening moves from our attackers. Teal Team 6, nice wide spread. That 5A is going into the low ground. This looks like a normal 2-cap attack, right? Just all of a sudden envelop everything on the side near the 2-cap. Try and take those things down. Avoid taking fire from tanks further to the north, and I mean, then you hopefully get things done.
Now, one thing I will note is look at this defense from F7. It's a recycled defense, basically. But they've played this multiple times before, including on broadcast. You have clicked on in the hold down 5A over here, having some vision down the 1-2 line. You have another 5A over at B2 to get the spots down that way. STR in the backfield, and the rest of the tanks just hugging the mountain, essentially. So we'll have to see how much of the homework Teal Team 6 has done, if they've seen this before, and if they have, do they have an answer?
And there you see Spooky and Viral climbing. Now, what's going to be important here is whether or not they can find any damage or good intel based off of their positions they're about to go to.
There's lens flare for you.
Hey. Yep. And that's what happens when you're a defender. You just get to sit in cool spots and, well, be cool.
Here's a question for you, Randall. There was a Reddit thread a few days ago about what do you think the most beautiful tank in the game is?
Ooh, most beautiful. Well, to me, it's the T-54.
T-54?
T-54.
I mean, you have like 2,000 games in it, so that doesn't surprise me.
2,000 is an understatement. I've got more unrecorded battles in a T-54 than I have recorded.
That somehow doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
All right, now Spooky on the hill, looking for some shots. Moving around, a couple tanks spotted for F7. Both teams bleeding 1 shot apiece in their bad shots.
Spooky looks like he's just kind of glancing around, trying to get his feel of the area. And there we go, right on top of the mountain. And there's a stealthy way up. Just watch if you're at home. This little tips and tricks you're getting from Spooky. So, next big move. Probably going to be Spooky to peek out, see what happens. Looks like Viral is lit, but by what? What's he lit by?
Might be by Halo in that bush over there.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He has the angle on the backside of that hill there.
Yeah, he's a little far for...
and Halo is running coded optics and vents, so very possible that he can see that.
Oh, he should be able to see it. Yeah. The only issue is like maybe the trees would block it, but I guess they aren't.
Yeah.
And, so Ollie and Zoned are having fun, I guess. This is kind of a throwback to the old way of stuff. Remember those days when 10 minutes and... Well, 15 minutes and not a lot happening?
On Nth, where T1s would stand on the other side of the building and proxy each other and not move for 8 minutes until there was not enough time to lose, but enough time to possibly win when you make that decisive push.
Good old days. But now it's just on the attackers. Can you win in time? Defenders, can you just not lose in time?
And Greg is spotted. He might take some shots from the hill. Nice connection there from zoned. Multiple connections coming in. Greg's down to a 1-shot. 98 HP. He does get safe, though. Another shot trying to find zombie food. They have multiple bat chats over here on this ledge. And
yep, they're just huddled together for safety. And there are currently 3 guns looking in their direction. Viral at the same time looks like he's unloading on the top of the hill towards Halo's position. Doesn't look like Halo's.
And actually, Viral and Spooky trying to blind fire Halo out in the bush down on the low ground, and he's not spotted. He's able to see the shots coming in and moves in time. Doesn't get spotted for doing such.
Yep, and looks like Love Hitman's trying to inch up as much as he can as well, but not really getting results right now. Not getting a whole lot. Yeah, we'll see where this goes.
5A does get spotted from Chase Potato in the base.
There he is, spotted again. This is, time's running out right here, guys, on Teal Team 6. You got 5 minutes left. And, losing out on hit points.
Yep. Now, one thing I will note is the difference between Teal Team 6 and F7, their defenses. Look at this defense from F7. There's no immediate option for flex. No immediate option to take advantage of everything. They're stuck holding these passive positions. Now, if you're in a strong enough position and your crossfires are well enough, and everyone is on the same page, this can absolutely work. We've seen it work multiple times, not arguing that. However, just because it works occasionally doesn't mean you have to be a fan of it. And the weakness to this is the fact that if F7 or Teal Team 6 have either done their homework or 2 can get proper eyes, they can identify weaknesses, they can find overmatches, they can group up, and they might be able to pick it apart. Now let's find out if Teal Team 6 have done their homework and what their plan is, because they only have 4.5 minutes left to break this defense. So let's go ahead and listen in.
Not lit. I'm lit. WZ's up.
Cover.
Kirby hit me. I'm gonna buy bat.
Halo's up.
We have no shots on WZ.
Nova, how are your shots back?
I need spots.
Somebody got hit on. Hold on, I'm trying.
I'm aiming at hill.
Okay, I'm reloading.
They're looking to do stuff on hill because they know we have a lot of tanks over there.
Well,
okay, Hitman, come back up. Hitman, come back up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do this. We're gonna take these 3 tanks. We're gonna push you guys like this, or like not you, Greg, but we're gonna push you like this. I'm gonna get off the hill. Okay, so Zombie, what you're looking for shots is just Halo, okay? I'm gonna go get on the hill, but you guys need to group up here. You guys are gonna push like this. I'm actually gonna play maybe right here, depending on what the situation is, to make sure we get this guy to not farm you as hard. But like, Hitman, you need to go first. Yep. You need to take the majority of the hits. Okay. And these guys need to get off the hill, except one of you. Like, Viral, get off the hill, and you're going like this.
Yeah, I'm waiting for us, brother.
Yeah, no, don't go yet. I need people to be in positions. But so Viral is gonna push low. All right, he's just gonna full commit. Once these guys start getting shot from this stuff, and Spooky, you're gonna be a little bit aggressive. It's okay to take a hit from the STRV. Your goal is to just pressure the bats to pay attention to you, or to like just swing the bats' attention.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Let us know when.
All right, Heavy go.
Do I go at the same time or a little bit after?
No, a little bit after. It's fine. Okay, go Viral.
Probably going to die.
That's 2, 3, 4.
No, I've only taken 3 shots from bat chats.
6. 7.
Okay, we just need to make
shots on anything.
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Oh my god, I got double checked. That was my bad.
Reloading. 30 seconds.
I'm getting clicked.
Getting shot by Halo.
Anybody have a kill on night or zone?
Nope.
God.
No. So this is a hard map to crack.
This is like, it really is. Like, I didn't like.
And the answer is no. They do not have the answer to this defense from F7. They run it very well. I'll give them props for that. Doesn't mean I'm a fan of it, but they make it work. 5A's holding firm. Good crossfire on the 5A of the left hitman that pushed across. I like the idea that Teal Team 6 went for there. They counted shots, tried to bait shots. That 5A said, hey, our toll is going to be this 5A. We're going to push him across the open, and his HP is going to be the toll. And you saw them counting shots, trying to empty as many of those bad chat shots as they could so they could then counter push. The problem is that Knight? Okay. Pretty sure it's the second time Knight has killed himself this game. Anyways, I digress. So, overall, it was, they paid too much of a toll because not just the 5A, but the TVP Spooky got permatracked in the open, so that's a second tank. It's another 1,800 HP gone. Batchess tried to push across. The shots got spread apart. 5A's got some shots in there. Halo came in behind. It just snowballed out of control. And Ali with the style points going for the Ram on the Viral to make it 2-2.
And then they jump off the cliff, as is traditional. So, it was okay. Just defense wins.
Passive defense. And, I want to say over and over again, I don't like passive defenses. F7 run it very well. Now, once again, this is one of those one-trick ponies that I kind of wonder about how long they can make it last, because the more often they do it on broadcast, the more often the other teams see it and or they scrim against it, and sooner rather than later, someone will find a break. Every defense ever, people have found a break to, whether it's the South Ruinberg back in the 742 days, or as Negatron said, the north end of Cliff, a very similar defense to this, but back when it was 742. Everyone finds a break eventually. It may work for a while, but eventually once that break happens, then all of a sudden the defense goes, all right, well, if they do this to break, what can we do to counter? And all of a sudden the meta just completely shifts from that point on. So
exactly,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that pretty much all it means is the better everyone gets at playing each side of a map, the better everyone gets at playing the opposite side to that. It's just that
very similar to
that arms race.
Very similar to Ruinberg, for example.
Yeah, arms race of strategy, right?
Yeah, if you look at how that map's changed over the last couple of seasons, it used to favor the defense very heavily, and then teams started figuring out, hey, if we get to the middle ridge early enough, we can shut down that 0 line. Then teams start going, all right, well, how do we shut down the middle ridge? So we start playing the 6th line. Okay, if they're playing 6th line, what do you do to counter it? And it just, like you mentioned, I like the phrasing, the arms race of strategies. Now, Cliff hasn't quite reached that point, that tipping point yet, but I think it will in the near future.
Yeah, it's not as popular as a lot of other maps, and so when you don't get that as much, very often it falls by the wayside a bit.
And we're coming up in a very interesting time of the season where we're getting to the playoffs, where teams, it's a map that hasn't been played a lot, and now that teams have played other maps a whole lot, they go, all right, well, what can we do to throw our opponents off? And they start looking at maps that they maybe haven't played as much, where there's not as much intel, and they go, hey, this team's played Cliff a lot. What do they normally do? And then they'll take a lot of time to figure out what can we do for it, and that's when we'll see it break out, is either late in the season or into the playoffs. So Cliff, definitely keep an eye on the map going forward. However, enough of Cliff. We are on to battle number 5, and it is going to be on mines. Lineups coming in: Teal Team 6, 2 113s, 3 mice and 2 batchets. F7, 2 113s, 2 E4s, 2 batchets, and 1 T100. And they are the defending side. I expect to see that T100 most likely go out towards H1 or G2 in the bush or somewhere over there just to spot that one line.
Oh, looks like he's gonna decide maybe not to do that. Looks like a bit of a mid-run. Oh, I see where he's going. This is gonna be spotting the west side. So Knight's gonna go passive in a push.
This is gonna pop off very quickly. Keep an eye here. They're gonna push these 113s down the one line early, trying to catch off F7 at the same time. These mice are probably gonna push up and over the hill at the same time, try to get this early break.
First spot. Supernova's up.
Supernova spotted. Our gun's in position. A missed shot comes in. Another E4 finally gets shot. But now come the 113s. Supernova's paid the toll, and now the 113s are gonna push across, trying to not have to pay that same toll.
Halo is taking a lot of damage, and he is going to be taken down by zombie food. Nice cover fire from him. It's going to... it's actually going to do an excellent job. Right now, hit points wise, Teal Team 6.
Passive defenses have a weakness, and F7 are about to be crushed. The 113's down on the one line. Mice coming over the hill. This lineup is not meant to flex around. The T100 caught out in position right now. The E4s can just sit there and get shots. But now F7 are in a terrible position. They don't have a good answer, and I don't see any way back into this for them for the rest of this round.
Oh, look at this. Even as Zone is trying to head into the backfield in his bat chat, there's going to be coverage, from zombie food. Zombie Food sitting in the backfield, and his bat chat is going to be waiting for just that. So it looks like Teal Team 6 has their bases covered. They understand what's going on, and they should be able to address any issues that the defenders bring up. But the question is, you may have some solid gains right now. F7 may be down on hit points, but you still do have to get into a proper engagement, and that's going to still be tricky. You can still lose out on paying the next round of tolls, won't you, James? Look at like Bananas and Supernova's position.
But look at this. They're in a much stronger position to defend that 2-cap. They're in a position where they can get their 113s if they want all the way across to K3. They can stop those E4s from getting resets, and the Mice have the hill.
But look at this, James. This is when, and I'm not meaning to disagree with you.
Yep.
Look at this. The Knight's position is permanently spotting Bananas, Wallace, and Spooky.
And he should have eyes on Cap too, so that in itself could be, actually, no, he won't be able to.
He's got a big blind spot, actually, yeah. That's a thing.
But that could be enough to narrow down the blind fire angles for that E4. Say, hey, he's not spotted anywhere here, he has to be in that one spot, so might be enough. And we're going to see the 113s push across, and once again, there is nothing stopping them from doing this because the Mice on the hills and they're covering, there is no one to punish this cross where normally tanks get hit pretty heavily, and they don't have anything on the hill either, so this should snowball, I'd imagine, pretty quickly for F7 if Teal Team 6 play this right.
That it should. And look at this. Spirit's even pinned down right now by Bananas. It's just a tricky situation for the defenders. A little shell bouncing right there off of Spirit Walker's front armor. So he's looking for a target. He's trying to find something into Spooky. Oh, and look at this. At the same time, we're going to jump over to Knight, who's decided to get moving. He's just doing a little clown carring in the middle, bouncing a shell from Zombie Food. Nice. Even then forcing a miss. At the same time, looks like the sneak attack counterplay from Ollie and Chase have gone around the east side of the map and will be heading around to the hill. They will possibly be pressuring Zombie. We'll see about that. It's not lit anymore. It takes about 300 to the face. Knight on the at the same time looks like he's going to just try and proxy or go around to the side. This is a little counter push from F7. I'm not sure I expect much good out of this, but
2 E4s are the only thing they have to hold the north there, and they don't have the greatest DPM. And on Cap right now, 15 seconds, the second tank got on Cap. No one is in position to get the resets except for Zone in the bat chat in the backfield.
He's almost there. Finds his targets. He's got spots. Shot comes in, not to love Hitman. Shell comes in, does not hit Zombie Food, but he's going to have to get off anyway. And it looks like that's going to save the Cap for now, but look at hit points. F7 is losing by a grand margin, a few thousand now.
And these Mice can bully, and these 113s I don't think are quick enough to flex around. So they need to hurry up and get out of there before the Mice get any more shots. Chase Potatoes, basically a 2-shot. Supernova does take down Spirit Walker in that E4.
And there we go, Zombie taking the final kill on Get Clicked On. So right now, every tank for Teal Team 6 is alive, not every tank for F7. Another crucial difference right here in the battle. That is the big tell. It's almost impossible to come back from this kind of a deficit, even if for some reason hit points were anywhere near even. But this should be a Cap win or just a kill win by Teal Team 6 if they don't.
113's counter pushing, catching both the Mice out in the open. They're doing what they can to chip through the HP, and Zone picks up one of them, and now it's going to leave Greg kind of isolated. These 113s could find the pick. At least takes a shot. Chase comes around. He's looking for the shot. Greg's angling his armor, but another penetrating shot, one bounce. Zone's still on reload. Cap at 58 seconds.
Knight sitting just passive up in the north. Odd's position. He's actually able to spot Cap and Spooky in an Overwatch position, so intel is there, but
Zone, 10 seconds left from getting reload. If these 113s can survive long enough, Zone might be able to get some shots onto Greg. Only tank covering him is Zombie Food up on the bat chat. And another shot, Ali pays, and they're going to push around. They know they need to make these shots count. They both need to pen him.
Knight's lit, goes down.
Good play from Zombie Food there, coming in behind at the right moment. And that should be Teal Team 6 putting a point up on the board.
Look at that, some kills right at the end to make it last a second longer. And just give it a sec. There we go. That's it.
Teal Team 6, they keep surprising me. They keep pulling stuff out of nowhere. They did it versus Elevate. They had some very clever strats, and I like that. You know, a lot of teams are used to being able to set up in their passive defense, take their time, sit things down.
Yeah.
And they took it to them. They had a clear. This is something we don't see a whole lot because it's kind of risky. It's a blind push, but it's going. This is what the meta is. This is what we're going to gamble that they're doing. And so far, to be fair, F7 have done the same thing they've always done all night, so there's no reason to think they're going to change it up now.
Yeah.
And they said, all right, well, this is the meta, so we're going to just do something risky. We're just going to blind push it. And they did it in a way that was smart. They put Supernova out in front and said, hey, here's a Batchat. Here's our sacrificial lamb. Once again, here's our tank to pay the toll. And F7 bought it, hook, line, and sinker. Multiple tanks fired. A couple even missed. So Supernova arguably should have died, but he didn't. And then the 113s were like, cool, your E4's just fired. All right, you have I think it's like a 16-second reload before they reload.
Yep.
We're just going to push down there. They got in there at the same time. You know, what are you going to do with the lineup that F7 had? What are you going to do against 3 mice? You can't push into them. You don't have the speed. You can't get around. And even if you could, you don't have the DPM to kill them quickly.
Yeah, and then just the cleanup even at the end when we saw the main counter push come in from F7. It was a bold play to try and break stuff up, but the whole lineup that you saw out of F7 just wasn't quite there. 2 113s aren't going to take on that many mice and Batchats. And just all together, good play. Looking at the post-battle stats here, we've got 4K damage from Zoned. He lives to the end. His team loses, but he does put up a solid fight.
Zombie Food, 2,500. 4 kills is the notable thing there for Zombie Food. Get clicked on and Spirit Walker playing the E4s, both about 2,400 apiece. So basically 3 shots worth, nothing too surprising there. Neither able to pick up any kills. So, you know, nothing really materializing. Greg actually playing the mouse there. Played it pretty well towards the end. Lasted for a good while longer than he probably should have. Viral also able to do another 2K.
Yeah. Looking at Love Hitman not doing any damage, and then Knight as well. That's the thing about Knight in the T100. A lot of other scouts are able to sneak in some damage, but he had a rough time trying to do any damage.
Because he pushed towards the hill, and what was towards the hill was 3 mice. And that T100 doesn't, even with the gold shells, does not have great penetration, even against the sides. It really struggles.
Yeah, a few HE shells actually probably would have been a good idea in hindsight. Just hindsight.
I mean, if you want to make a T100 work against mice, you have to play it like the grand finals. I believe it was NSS versus, I think, Navi. They had that T100 run around the field on steps for a good while, playing that view range game perfectly, where he was going in, getting unspot, driving away so he couldn't get spotted, firing a few shots, then closing in, getting the spots. But that's in a one-on-one in a wide open field where this is mines. You're not going to get into those sort of situations where you can really make that work, except for maybe a very few rare cases.
Yeah, it's that's the trick with light tanks, is trying to balance getting that info and staying alive with actually dealing some damage. Because the thing about it is it's fast enough, it's got the damage, it's got the pen, you can do what you want as long as you make use of yourself. But it's very difficult to take huge risks in this kind of a format because you know your team depends on you.
Yep.
And so a lot of the time people err on the side of caution.
Now, moving on to defense, round number 6. It will be Teal Team 6, 113, an IS-7, a 5A, 2 E4s, and a Batchat. A very similar looking lineup to the one we just saw out of F7. F7, though, going with a lot of heavies. Coming in here with a mouse, 4 5As, a Batchat, and a Panzerwagen.
That says not a lot of water play, right? Normally.
Traditionally, yes. I would not be surprised to see Knight, however, appear open over on that one line. Maybe pull a Tornado Rocks, push the mouse across in the blind spot, draw the shots while 5As push down there. That kind of seems to be the meta. We talked about Rude about that, is getting heavies down on that one line is one of the main ways to break this defense. And that, we were talking earlier about... Okay, zoned?
Nah, he just stopped for a sec. Don't know why.
So, but we were talking earlier about... you know, meta's shifting and that
looks like they're actually, here's their deviation from the norm. They're gonna have Halo moving out as the lead on water side and all those 5As. So this looks vaguely similar to what we saw from Teal Team 6 on the offense, but I guess different iteration or different interpretation of the same concept, maybe. But opening spotting, Ali, Chiptito,
they're all going to get spotted. They're going to stop.
Yeah,
they're going to decide, hey, what about that push?
Yeah.
Let's not, because there is a lot of pain sitting for Teal Team 6.
He takes about 796. That's a shot from downtown. That's one of those 5s. Another one! Another shot sneaks into Ali for 777. One goes right on over his turret.
That is unfortunate. That is the worst kind of toll to pay, because that's the toll where you pay to go absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
That is not going to be good for F7. To stay in this fight, they really need to pick up a win here, because after this, we're going to go on to Ruinberg, and it is going to be Teal Team 6 on defense first, which history says otherwise, but we'll have to find out if this is still a defensively sided map. And the 5As are actually going to back out and rotate around very slowly, which isn't going to be much of a surprise for Teal Team 6. Hey, they were spotted here. Hey, guess what? They're not doing anything. They're not getting spotted again. Now, Chase Potato is still getting spotted, so maybe that's a little bit of the bait they're going to go for. Hey, we're going to keep this one 5A over here while the rest rotate around.
Make you guys think that possibly we haven't left?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because the other 5As are heading right now.
Because there's that whole mind game that you can play where you go, hey, we still have one tank over here, and you saw a bunch of our tanks here. Now, are we rotating? Or are they all right here? And as the caller on the other team, you have to go, all right, well, where can I put my guns ahead of time to help defend against that? Do you take the gamble and think that they're rotating because they haven't been spotted for a while? Or do you say, hey, they're probably still all over here, so we'll just assume they're here? It's kind of it's a risky, delicate game that you kind of have to play.
Yeah, and I think the big thing for Teal Team 6, from their perspective, they're probably seeing that single 5A Chase Potato and saying, well, if there's only one that we're seeing right now and he's playing this kind of a game, there's a decent chance that this is a ruse.
Right.
Because if you're thinking about what your opponent would do and you're trying to think from their perspective, why would they continue to push down the one line, right? Makes more sense to flex. So if Teal Team 6 is picking up on that well enough, they've probably flexed over and are ready for a one-line push rather than something on the water side.
Okay, here's something next level that I think we may have missed. Notice, Zone is up on the climb right now.
Yes, he made it without taking really all the...
Do you notice when the time was that he got up there?
Rather late. He was about...
if I'm not mistaken, it was the same time those 5As got spotted over on the one line.
Good point.
So who's doing the ruse? Because if that was indeed the idea, was get the 5A spotted over there, and will all the guns shift to punish that cross, that's going to turn all the guns that are sitting there looking towards that climb are all of a sudden going to be looked the opposite direction and give him that window to get up onto that climb.
Yeah, create an
opportunity.
Little sleight of hand.
Misdirection.
Yes. And we'll see just more cover trying to come out here from zone, but struggling to find a good connection.
Knight taking their shot, and the problem is Teal Team 6 are just punishing F7 every chance they poke up right now.
Yeah, and the hit points right now are really in favor of Teal Team 6. That's the thing as well. It's like you're on attack, you managed to get Ali damaged pretty heavily. You've got plenty of other 5As, but you don't have a lot of hit points to play with. And their Supernova's even getting lit. Zoned might have just realized, oh, this is not good, because that's
that track shot right there to have a chance, and he misses one from Supernova.
He needs to dodge two, I think.
Yeah, he's trying to do what he can.
It's not good. Not
good. AG shot doesn't get the fire. 366, as long as he doesn't roll low. Oh, and the 341! He's still alive, and he gets another shot.
Lucky him. All right, RNGesus says you live today.
But that's for about another 28 seconds until Supernova's reloaded. No one's in position to really deal with this. But that's the opportunity they're going to take. They're going to push around knowing that Batchat's reloaded. But look at this. HP, they're already down by about 5K. This is going to be real tough for F7 to dig back into this one.
That it is get clicked, though, is a strong position. And right now, Spirit should be able to stay alive for a little longer. And just try and make a nuisance of himself. This pressure needs to hit pretty hard and pretty fast onto the left Hitman and Greg. But right now, I'm not quite feeling it from F7. They need to get into these positions faster. And there we go. Shot from Zombie Food. Plenty of damage to Spirit.
Knight takes another shot from Greg through the turret right now, and now it's almost 6K HP deficit.
And that's going to give even time for our guys out west, that Zombie and Viral, to get into the mid-fight. It's needed to happen faster for F7, but it's probably not going to continue going all that well from here on out. This is pressure moving in from Zombie and Viral. Chase Potato does not have a lot that he can deal with, and because of that, Zombie moves in, a little assisting, more bounces or rather misses a shell, and there we go. Supernova from downtown gets a kill, and that's a little bit of ground gained right in the middle of the map. Nicely done from Teal Team 6. F7 sitting on 1,700 hit points. Not a lot to play with. This is pretty much done and dusted. Solid defense from Teal Team 6. That's actually going to mean this will be their map where they put 2 points on the board and just kind of take their lead.
But then it's going to go to Ruinberg next, though, and so Teal Team 6 are going to have to hold strong and win at least one. And F7 need to win both. They want to have a chance at forcing OT. Now, they've already done it once last week, coming from behind, down 4-1, to force and win in overtime. So they have it in them. But do they have them in them tonight?
And there we go. A 113 IS-7 5A little choo-choo train of death. Moves on down. Left Hitman's got that. No, Zombie's got the final, and that's going to be it. There we go.
That is going to be 4-2 in favor of Teal Team 6. I don't necessarily have too much of a problem with what F7 tried to do there outside of Ali. That was a lot of HP to bleed for relatively no reason.
Yeah, well, the problem was that, well, everyone on defense side, that's credit to Teal Team 6, was ready for some opening stuff in the west side. I mean, they had T110 E4s ready to go. And because of that, Ali just didn't have a chance because of where he was and where he had to go to get into a safer position to not take that damage. And so when you get whacked by 2 T110 E4s early in the game, you're in a rough spot. And it kind of sucks because as a team or as a caller, you're looking at it and you're like, ouch, one of my players that I really needed to depend on is, well, almost useless right now. I can't really rely on him to distract people and take damage.
Well, especially, and it's, you know, a Batchat losing HP is one thing, but, you know, that was one of the tanks they were trying to make their main push with. You know, that was a tank where they really needed that HP, and losing it that early on for nothing really in return is just super unfortunate. Now, looking at the damage here, Greg actually having a very strong game. 3,200, 2 kills, Viral in the 113, another 1,300. Supernova, a lot of that was the damage that he got onto zoned. Now missing that first shot, though, was definitely unfortunate. He's really lucky it didn't cost the team more in that case. Definitely a little bit of a misplay missing that first shot, and then getting unlucky with the second shot with the low roll. Even taking his time to aim it, and still, you know.
But you did notice Ali being on front page, even though he took all that damage early game.
Yeah, he's still able to contribute, but, you know, having that HP, having that tank that you could put with the push, maybe give them some durability, some HP to share around. Instead, he had to kind of sit back and get some damage off the second page.
I think, yeah, it's more important in the second page, though. Like, get clicked on, Spirit, Night, Chase, like, they were taking far more damage and just really not dishing it out.
Yep.
And that was kind of the problem, was they weren't posturing up on the positions they had to control them. And they really either shouldn't have been there in the first place or they should have been dealing damage.
Right.
And I'm not saying that that's because you shouldn't be more skillful in that position to deal damage. It's you shouldn't be there because you can't deal more damage than you're going to take. So you need to figure out something different. You need to come up with an audible.
Right.
Because, well, I mean, when you run up against solid mines defenses and you don't adapt, that's usually just why they don't work, is because you stick some tanks in crucial positions, right? And say, don't die. And then what happens when your opponent, the defender, figures out the appropriate angles? Like, you have to be able to react to that and deal with that and have alternate positions or something safer. And those risks are what's not paying off.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we did have one of the teams call a timeout. Now it looks like
yeah, there was
they are going to switch.
F7.
Yeah, well, timeout for F7, and then Greg is actually going to get subbed out for Teal Team 6, and it's going to be Emu coming into play.
Yeah, it's like, looks like something, yeah, Greg's saying something's wrong, and so he's going to be putting Emu in there just as they're about to start that 60-second tire. All right, looks like they're finally going to get the...
Well, it looks like we're going to get into our next battle in a second. 50-second timer has started, so it will be another minute or so. So, at this point, a lot still on the line for both teams. Now, Teal Team 6 have guaranteed themselves 1 point at this point, for sure, no matter what happens, 1 point. So that means that at best, F7 can get 2 points, which would put them up in the standings up to, I believe, 12, which would put them tied with everyone else, or close to it. I'd have to check the standings. But it'll put them in a bit of a closer range to everyone else. Still not great, though. A win here would have been pretty big.
Yeah, I'm just checking over. F7 with 9 points.
So they actually came past Teal Team 6. They would only pass Aquatic M60s with a win, depending on how Aquatic M60s versus Elevate goes later tonight, which you'd have to imagine will probably be a 5-0 for Elevate, making it their 6th 5-0 of the win season.
So actually those 2 points are really important because that means the difference between playoffs and not playoffs. At least
M60s currently occupy the last spot, so it's between F7 and 07 and M60s for it. Now we move on to battle number 7 finally. Can F7 dig deep and pull up the win right now? Lineups coming in: 3 I7s, 2 5As, and 2 Batchats. Teal Team 6, 2 113s, 2 50Bs, 2 mice, and a Batchat.
Not bad. Liking the 50Bs coming back. Solid damage dealers, but against IS7s and 5As, the trick is, can they deal that damage before the IS7s and 5As, along with those Batchats, swarm all over whatever positions they have?
Now, we've talked about how this map's kind of come before more offensively sided. I believe it has about 60% win rate on offense right now. So we'll have to see what F7 have up their sleeve, because if they're going to stay in this, they need a win right now. And it's not going to be an easy task, and it looks like everything for F7 is going to go towards the south.
There it is. South side push, right up into the village, just swamp everything and try to out Russian-style tank it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just forward is the best direction. Throw enough IS-7s together and they can make things happen.
Big, meaty wolf pack.
Yep. I always like combining some IS-7s with solid medium DPM. Or 5As as well. They're not so bad.
Well, good DPM. They have the heat shells to deal with the more heavily armored tanks.
Yeah. Works well against that mouse or those mice if they can find them. And they are spotted. Looks like a little shift coming from Bananas, but not a lot of support fires in position right now. It looks like those mice and zombie food are still trying to get into position. Bananas looks like he's gonna just move around and play his south side. But as everything gets unlit, Chase Potato, Ollie, Spirit, and them, they're actually gonna bypass the cap. And as they get off cap, they're gonna get into the village. This is important. You have to do this. Ollie, Get Clicked, and Spirit, what they're doing right now is incredibly important. If you fail to do this, you just stay on cap as F7 right now, you very often just become a shooting gallery. And so strong play, good positioning. And Teal Team 6, James, has not taken an aggressive position in this side of the map. Now, I think they're going to pay for it pretty dearly. Yeah,
and Knight's really doing what he can to shut down this 6-7 line. However, he's only one IS-7 up against 2 Chinese heavy tanks, so he needs to keep an eye on that. Now the mice are getting more aggressive on the 0 line there for Teal Team 6. Trying to hold on, trying to keep the 50Bs back, and they have the Batchets in the backfield, and one of the 5As is actually getting caught out right now. I believe that's Ali the Persian dude.
It's IS-7 to clarify.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, no, I was looking at Spirit Walker down there. He's trying to play the range game there, have the shots. Ali's close one, he's taking damage, and now...
Oof, he catches fire even, although he does have the auto fire extinguisher, so that's going to help out a little bit, but he's already pretty beat up. But
Team's
looking...
just fine straight. Now remember, Teal Team 6 start with more HP, and it's basically about 600 HP between the two, so one real shot of damage right now, and another non-penetrating shot coming out from Emus.
Here come the French tanks, Spooky, Zombie, and Supernova moving in on Chase.
Up and over into the cap. Now these Batchets need to make sure they get their shots in here right now. Now Teal Team 6 are bleeding HP heavily, 50Bs out in the open, and they do get Chase Potato down, but at what cost?
And Ali. The cost is there, yes, but look at the hit points, James. It's almost dead even, just going back and forth right now. Zoned is empty, Halo is on reload, so Batchets right now are out for F7. And covering positions right now from F7, I would say, are a lot weaker. Right now, yeah, with the losses of Chase, Get Clicked, and Ali, I think that's the core positions of F7 gone. It's going to be very difficult for them to regain their control, especially if Teal Team 6 can keep the pressure up.
Zombie,
nice play there. That's what I'm talking about. There's pressure. Zombie just finding that perfect shot.
No one really able to get any return shots. Now, Knight will know that he can't actually kill him, but because he backed up trying to get low, that should do it. I don't see any way for Teal Team 6 to really lose this at this point.
They should have it in the bag. Absolutely nice response with their French tanks. And F7 went for a strong play, but just maybe not quite strong enough. That's all what they're gonna have to look at and review, because it's a tricky thing to win on Ruin Brick Attack. And there we go, one more shell from Zone. We'll finish off Love Hitman, but it won't matter, because he'll go down first. Now Halo's alone with one shell.
Yep. I really like that out of Teal Team 6, really dictating the tempo of that round. They said, all right, you want to have the village? You can have it, but we're going to have 2 Mouses and 2 50Bs on the other side. So what, you have it, you can't really push past it, and then they pushed on the low side. They got the guns turned around. Once they were turned around, and all of a sudden the mice just rolled forward with the 50Bs and cleaned out anything while the tanks in the back were distracted. So once again, it's one of the same principle as mine. It's, hey, here's the toll. Here are the tanks you're going to kill. Have fun, kill them. But guess what? While you're doing it, we're going to kill the whole rest of your team.
Yep. Yeah, just didn't work this time on attack.
It was just very well coordinated out of Teal Team 6. There's no other way to say it. It was just good coordination. It was good understanding of, hey, we're going to pay the toll. You know, unlike some teams go, we don't want to pay a toll at all. They try to play it just ever so perfectly so they don't take any damage. But Teal Team 6 throughout the night said, hey, all right, here's a tank. We're going to give it to you. Sorry, Nova, it's your turn to die. Go have fun, bud.
But this is going to work out for us.
For as long as it's good of the overall team, and it really came through there. So just overall good teamwork, good understanding, and good execution.
Yeah, I think consistently throughout the night, we saw that Teal Team 6 was better able to share hit points amongst their team members. That means there's one guy that goes out there, and he doesn't go out there and die all the time. He might go out there, take a lot of damage, but then back off, let someone else kind of take over. We saw good blocking, good coverage. Solid positions out of Teal Team 6, good tactical play. I think that's the thing to focus on here from Teal Team 6, is where F7 would kind of leave a some bait out there. Nice jump from Ali. They generally weren't as capable as Teal Team 6 was tonight at having those comprehensive plays and responses.
And the one other thing I will say to Teal Team 6 was throughout the night, they never at any point on defense anyways said, all right, we're in a nice spot, we got to reset, we're just going to back off and sit here. They went for their opportunities even on defense. Back on Cliff, they said, hey, we can have the Zord match, we're going to take it. And any chance they got to take the game by the reins, they took it, even on defense. And that's my biggest point, I guess, between the passive defense and not, is when you have the opportunity to really seize a match, you should try to put yourself in a position to do it instead of saying, hey, we're just going to hold here and what happens, happens. It can work. I'm not, not arguing that, but
don't wait for victories to just land in your lap. Your opponent's not going to give you.
When you have that opportunity to really take that victory, make that decisive play, take it. And Teal Team 6, they did that all night, and I am thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, good job, Teal Team 6. There's a lot of improvements, of course. I think they'll be looking back at the VODs, looking back at their replays, and they'll have places they want to fix up, things that they need to work on. But altogether, they should be satisfied with tonight, the way tonight went. Looking at the post-match stats, this is the overall. Spirit Walker puts up 405.
Doing what he can for that team. 5 kills, almost 1,700 damage. Solid fantasy pick if you had him, even though he was on the losing team. Banana the Wall House, Viral, also doing pretty solid damage there. Zoned another 1,400. Spooky, 350. So if you had him, another very popular pick in fantasy, having a consistent night. Ali, unfortunately, not able to have such a popular night. Nor is Halo, only 250.
Salvageable.
Yeah, salvageable, not great. And then after that, nothing too surprising. Knight's probably the only one. And actually, Supernova had a very quiet night. But here, one thing I will say about Supernova is sometimes he's been known to play very passive or kind of been one of those me first before the team type players. But tonight, I thoroughly impressed. Put himself out in front, was making the calls, said, hey, here's my tank. I don't care. Kill me as long as the rest of the team wins. And, I think that's a big change for him. And I think that overall for Teal Team 6, that's good to have a player that can take on those roles and be fine with it. So overall, good stuff. Now we are going to be joined by Greg for a winner interview. So let's go ahead and talk about that first, Greg. So we heard Nova calling a little bit in the middle of a couple of those matches, and then we also noticed that he made some plays for the better good of the team. Maybe not great individual performances, but playing well as a unit. Is that something you guys have been working on, or how has that kind of materialized?
Yeah, so one of the things that our team's always been lacking a bit of is we don't have a huge amount of caller depth. The Viral himself will say he's always been more of a strategist than a caller, so that's something we've been working on. Nova's been stepping up to the plate, and he's been doing his best to come in as sort of a secondary caller right now, and he came into his own tonight. I'm very impressed, very proud.
I wanted to ask about, there was a point near the end of the match, and looking back at the match chat, Greg, were having some issues. Could you tell us at all what was going on, if anything, or what?
So you see, I was showing Ali the importance of staying hydrated, and he did something funny. I don't even remember what it was. It might have just been the essence of Ali. Yeah. And I choked a little bit, and the Mountain Dew came out my nose. Yeah. But after that, it was okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you're not actually dying.
I threw a little bit on Sand River, and that's my excuse 100%.
Oh, okay, cool.
Blaming Ali, all right.
But that's the later point in the match, right? The nose thing, or because you were taken down
that was during the face-off. You watched that.
No. I'm talking about later. I was looking at the match chat, and it looked like something was wrong or something with a...
Greg, you good. No, I'm dying. Exact words.
Yeah, that part.
Oh, yeah, I was coughing.
Oh, okay.
Because you said you were being taken down for emus or something.
All right, Greg.
Yeah.
Well, we've had enough of your time. Once again, congratulations on the win. Any final thoughts for your fans out there?
Hold up, James. What you got? What you got?
All right. You've wanted something spicy all season, I can tell. So we're going to give you something spicy.
Give it to me.
I got 3 papers right here. One's A, one's B, and one's C.
All right.
One's got a chirp, one's got a roast, and one has a dead savage roast. I don't know which one's which. Rockstar will give you the honors. Pick a letter.
Oh, man. All right. Let's go with B.
Everyone chooses B.
Okay. Oh, my God. This is the savage roast one. All right. Are you guys ready?
Yep. Give it to us.
Congrats to F7. You guys have gone from dangerously close to gold to dangerously close to getting relegated.
Ouch.
Let's just hope 07 can pick up the pace and push you guys back to silver where you belong.
Ouch.
Ooh, those fighting words from Teal Team 6.
All right, Greg. I feel like that puts an end to it, sir. Any last words? Is that...
Have a great night, guys.
I think
I know I'm
will.
going to.
I'm definitely going to have a great night. Thank you so much, Greg. We'll see you on the battlefield.
All right. Any final thoughts? I think that kind of sums everything up there.
Context for those who don't know, that was a joke about his old team.
Yeah, which turned into F7 over time.